पर्सनल नंबर पर मारो नंबर लो 9375 75 233 336 double 3 93752 double 3 0 हमारो पर्सनल नंबर છે આની ઉપર WhatsApp કરો તમો
आज जगाचे 75% कोट्याधीश ते स्वतःचे निर्गुण कोट्याधीश झाले आहेत. ते सरासरी ज्ञान पुस्तके वाचतात. आज जगातले 90%
Hello, Shuni. Last day.
आयुष्य का तो फोन कट हो गया मेरा वीडियो ये कॉन्फ्रेंस चल रहा है
Participants, please mute yourself. Prashant, can you mute everyone?
That option only I am searching here.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
That option is while registering that Zoom, not now. I need to make individual.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Only 4 minutes are there. You can start welcoming people.
Yeah.
No issue.
Okay. So, good evening, all of you. I hope all of you are doing fine. You are safe. You are healthy at home, and OHR wishes you healthy and stay safe. OHR request all of you, please don't go outside in case it is very important. Then only please leave your homes. And we request, we pray for a speedy recovery of all the people who are here suffering due to Corona and all this pandemic. So good evening, all of you. Once again, I am Sachin Landge, trustee for Only HR Foundation. Along with me, Prashant is there, Shailendra is there, the other trustees of OHR Foundation. So today we are having this 80th knowledge sharing session, wherein we have a very well-known speaker, Shilpa. Uh, Shilpa, are you there? Shilpa, am I audible?
Yes, I am. Can you see me and hear me?
Prashant?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes. Okay. So, Shilpa has 16 plus years of experience in HR and L&D and has worked across all domains like talent acquisition, performance management, employee engagement. And Shilpa had spent, out of the 16 years, she has spent 5 years in UK as a learning partner, supporting Cognizant digital
Sachin, you can
business
start
units
your
for
video.
UK and Ireland. Besides that, Shilpa, yeah, just a moment.
While
Audible?
speaking,
Am I
yeah,
visible?
while speaking, you can
Okay.
start your video.
Yeah. Yes, Prashant. So Shilpa enjoys interacting with students, mentoring them, and she had been associated with Symbiosis, KIMS, which is Kirloskar Institute of Management Studies, T.Y. Patil College, and in her free time, she goes as a guest lecturer in these colleges. Apart from this, Shilpa also loves to spend time with family and her plants, and she's a very good blogger. She's also a fitness freak and very good into all this stuff what the new generation loves. And without wasting much of time, I request Shilpa to take the charge of this session. We are on time. It's 18:59 in my clock, and so may I request Shilpa to please come take the charge of this session now.
I will be happy to. Thank you, Mr. Lange. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes. You're audible, loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much for having me here. It's lovely to be with my HR family. I'm assuming everybody here is from our fraternity, and it almost feels like home to interact with all of you. There's so much I intend the next 1 hour to learn from you, and whatever I have been able to gather with the blessings of my parents, my mentors, my colleagues, I'm going to share with all of you. So let's make it a little interactive if all of you are all right with that. And of course, I will request you to be on mute if you are not speaking. That will help us to have a rather smooth session. That's all right. So would I be made the host now if I can?
Yeah, 1 minute. Huh?
All right. Thank you.
Hello, Shilpa.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you. What name you have registered? Because I'm not finding your name.
Ira, IRA.
1 minute. Huh? Yeah.
That's my daughter. She's
Ira.
my lucky star. So it's her account.
1 minute.
Ira, yeah, it's Ira.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Shilpa is head of L&D for Fujitsu.
They want results or put results as it is. You can't
There are lots of people. Just I'm admitting them, and then I will make you host. Just give me a few minutes.
Absolutely, no problem at all.
Yeah, you are now host.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to play a dual role for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to present also, speak also, and at the same time admit a few people when they are joining. Okay, thank you.
All right. I will try my best to be
Yeah.
as possible with that. But please pardon me if I'm slightly delayed. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Just a moment. If people can go on mute, or if there's a way to mute everyone, please, because it definitely will disrupt the flow. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to try and admit people as we go along. Okay. All right. So today's session is about powering up brand. It's admitting people as we go along. Okay. All right. So before I start my session, I usually talk about this. Okay. When somebody introduces me and they mention 16 years of experience, I often wonder whether I really started my experiences when I was 16. And I feel not really. I think right from childhood, there is so much that one learns, I guess, as they move along in their career, in their life. And for me as well, the journey has been pretty much before these 16 years. My father, my inspiration.
Just what you wanted to say.
Sorry? Someone's trying to say something?
No, Shilpa. They
Go ahead,
must be,
Shilpa.
yeah. Please speak. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. So I was saying more than the 16 years, I think the journey of experiences and learning starts much before that. And my inspiration probably is the audience today. My father, Mr. Nimbarkar, learned a lot from him, inspired, and probably where I land today is because of him. I remember my childhood having words like trade unions, words like grievance handling, words like employee relations. And one thing that really got me into HR and what I loved watching him is the way he built relationships, okay, which actually is his brand, is what I would say. Right from the watchman at the door to the CEO, every person he knew with name, he respected everybody equally. He built those relationships, and it was so amazing to watch that growth. And for me, HR is by choice, it's not by chance. And I chose it. Watching the learnings that I've had from him. Also, in terms of all my bosses, like I said, it's been a phenomenal journey in HR, and there's so much value all of us add, and you will agree with me, being experts, that there is so much we add in this HR profession, right from the employees to their managers to the end customers that we work for. And the role of HR, while it gets questioned more often than not, I think brings tremendous value to business. And I'm enjoying that, heading the Fujitsu Learning and Development HR function for all India. I was working before that in Cognizant for 12 years, and it has been phenomenal being a part of this profession. So I really love it. And one of the things that really I feel the HRs of today lack, and I would love to hear if you think otherwise. I think we lack branding. Yeah, we lack visibility. I feel it's so critical for us to talk about what we do, talk about the work we do, talk about the business impact we bring to the table. And this is my little attempt today to cover one little part of branding, which is very close to my heart. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I don't know, some of you and I are already connected there, so you would see me on LinkedIn. But I feel we as HR professionals can do a lot with this platform that is available. And I would share from me, and I would love to hear from you as well. So, if you are active on LinkedIn and use it to power up our brand. Okay, so with that, I'm going to get cracking on this while I admit people. So please bear with me. I'm going to try and do that as swiftly as I can. So this is what my LinkedIn profile will look like, and which describes me as a person, as a professional. And the word that describes me the most, I would say, is curiosity. I ask millions of questions, and I love to share about the answers that I get. And I think we mutually grow from that. So That's what I think I stand for. And I'm going to share my learnings with all of you today, and would hope that they benefit you in some way, and would love to get connected with all of you on LinkedIn as well. So here's what it stands for me. Okay. We're going to play a little game if you are up for it. And I don't know how many of you really can access internet quickly with you, because I love to make my sessions a little interactive. If you can answer one question for me, okay, you heard me right now. Okay, we spoke, you heard Mr. Lange introduce me as well, and you heard a few words from me to begin with. If you can go to slido.com, and you can see here slido.com, okay? If you can just type it on your mobile or your Mac, your laptop, and there will be a game pin. It'll ask you if you can enter 9872 there, okay? And I don't know how many of you are comfortable doing that, but I would love if you do that. If you can go to slido.com in internet website, slido.com, and type 9872, and you can start answering this question for me. You heard me. What are some of the keywords that I said right now for the last 15 minutes appealed you or struck you, or something that caught your attention? Can you start typing? Has anybody been able to log into slido.com? Can I hear? Oh, curious. Oh, thank you. Okay. Can I see some more people writing? Curious learner. Thank you. Trade unions. I like that. Branding. Brilliant. Grow caught your attention. Lovely. What else did you hear that caught your attention? Branding. Okay. I would love to hear from all of you. Let me hear. Trade unions, lunch. Anything else from anybody? Okay. So if you can unmute yourself as well, okay, if you want to speak about it. Ira, I like that. Enjoy my work by choice, HR by choice. Yes, I am a fitness enthusiast, which means that I love working out every day. Yes, personal branding. Okay, this is brilliant. Thank you so much. L&D, LinkedIn. I love all of this, which means that you really did listen to me and picked up these amazing words. Thank you so much for being so interactive. HR analytics, this is fantastic. I think, thank you so much for contributing. And yes, I did say a lot of these things. And these are some of the things that probably even strike you, which I may not have said, but you are putting them down there because that's the brand in the last 10 minutes I probably created of myself. Okay. Brand is nothing but a perception, right? All of you have these perceptions about me, and thank you for giving your feedback here. Let's move on and see where this is going, okay? So if you see the last just few minutes of you listening to me, you were able to perceive something, and that's what I would say is our own personal branding, okay? And if you look at these people here, do you think they are brands? Give me a thumbs up or something that is there here in your control panel, or you can unmute and say yes. Do you think these people are brands today?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Okay. And what about these people on the left? Do you recognize any of them? Are they brands too?
No. No.
You don't recognize anybody?
No.
But are they
No.
brands?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Difficult to say.
They are brands, right?
They are brands.
Yes, they do stand for something in their life. Are you sure? Yes. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to be famous to be a brand.
Okay.
Each individual here in the call, all of you are expert at something, all of you believe in something, you're a brands of that. You're a brand ambassadors of values, of principles, of your ethics, of your skills, right? So these all here on the picture, famous, not famous, are all brands. Okay? And that's the message I want to drive for all of us today. So what are brands? Summarize it quickly. Too much noise. Mute, anyway. Tried to unmute.
I think those who are not muting themselves, you can expel them out from the meeting.
Yeah, I know. Nice. Okay.
All we are HR professionals, huh? Surprisingly.
I know, I know. Okay, so let's try. Let me go to my previous slide quickly and let's see what brands are. And of course, all of us know, but this is a quick refresher because sometimes we feel brands are supposed to be famous. But trust me, brands for me, and I'm sure you'll agree, are really a recognizable feeling. It's a feeling that we have for a person, for a thing, for an organization, and it lives in the mind really, which means that it is quite easy to work on, isn't it? And if you feel like you can actually nurture it and navigate through to achieve your purpose. For me, brands are perceptions and they can be created and we can navigate through them. Okay, so this is what I feel. Okay, we all are brands, aren't we? Every value that we possess, every principle that we live by, every choice that we make, and every conversation ever that we have, all of these create our brands. So all the values I have got from my parents, from my family, all the principles I've lived by make me who I am today. So that's the brand I'm talking about. Okay, and if you look at, if we already are a brand, then why do we have to work on it, will be the question one might ask. And do we really further need to evolve? Yeah. So as HR professionals, I would imagine that yes, given the situation, we might need to work a bit on our personal branding. And I'm going to make it a little professional here in terms of how we can build our brand using a platform which is so right there up for free, giving us so much that we can learn from and interact with so many different kinds of people. So I feel, yes, we could potentially do a little more on our HR brand. Okay. And I'm going to share a few learnings I have had in the past few months. For me, a brand, my brand aligns to my purpose. And I'm sure all of you will believe in that too, right? I'm a big fan of Ikigai, and I'm sure some of you have read the book as well. It's a Japanese book. It talks about purpose and being, reason for being. Okay, and for me, the brand originates here. The Ikigai, in terms of what do we love, what do we need, what do we want to get paid for, what gives us happiness. It all revolves around purpose. And for me also, I it's important for me to know that the brand that I want to create revolves around my purpose in life. And that's why it becomes very easy because I'm able to then relate to where I want to be and what is it that I need my brand to be. Okay, so this is how, for me, Ikigai plays a very important role in my brand. So these are some of the examples that I put for you in terms of Ikigai, because if we identify our purpose, then we will know in terms of how do we move along and build that brand around the purpose. So for some of us, being there for family, being fit and healthy probably is the purpose of life. Some of us love to connect with people, love to share knowledge. Some of us just want success or earn a lot of money, and there's nothing right or wrong in any of these purposes in life, right? All of us are made differently and we love to live life by the way we find it comfortable and how ambitious we are to achieve some of those goals that we have set in life. So any of these could be your ikigai, could be your purpose. So what is it that you can do to align your brand to that purpose so that you can get successful and achieve it? Okay, that's what I'm going to talk about. And this is very close to my heart, like I told you, in terms of ikigai. And let's see what it really means. Okay, so today, if you look, and definitely due to this pandemic or even before, for last 5 6 years, digital media has become completely crazy, isn't it? Disruptive market in terms of social media, everybody trying to sell everything there. People are attracted to it. I would also go one step further and say that addicted to it at times as well. And of course, we need to know where we want to draw the line. But not going here, can we survive today? Is it possible for us not to digitally interact with each other? No, because today we are using all virtual medias to interact with each other because we can't meet each other physically. And also, not within India or within Pune, for example, here for me, also abroad, across oceans, if you want to interact with some of your colleagues, how do you do this? So I think digital media, they started around 5 years back itself. It's become inevitable and imperative that we are there. So what are these different kinds of medias today we use, right? We use, let me just see if I can make this work. Okay, I think I've done a good job there. Okay, let's move on. So, which are some of these social medias that we're using as of today, right? We're using Insta, which is Instagram, we're using Facebook, Twitter. We're also using Medium, which is a blogging media, which I'll show you because I write a couple of posts there as well. YouTube, so much interaction through YouTube lives where you get call guests and interact. Podcasts, which is there for future. We're just heading towards that now anytime. And you will see people doing podcasts more than any other media today of interaction. And of course, LinkedIn. So I'm going to deep dive on LinkedIn because that's what I'm expecting all of you to want from this session today. So I'm going to take a pause and ask you, am I right in my understanding that we want to deep dive a bit more in LinkedIn today? Is my understanding right? Can I get a yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Okay, because I want to make sure that I talk about what you would like to hear. So LinkedIn is what we'll go into detail. Okay, so for me, like I said, my purpose I have identified. My ikigai is right in front of me for my professional brand. You know, how is it that I envision myself to be in the coming years? Okay. And I'm sure each one of you have your own story there. Okay. So for me, what matters is that I have a drive to be a well-rounded HR L&D leader, for example. Okay. And to be aware and have knowledge of my industry. Where is my industry heading? Okay. Then moving on to learning from experts around the world. You know, what's happening? What are these experts doing? HR leaders doing across the world? Connect with like-minded people, people who are, say, L&D heads like me across other industries or professional bodies like NIPM, NHRD. I'm sure all of you are already a part of these professional bodies, but I'd love to connect with people there and exchange ideas, and then to help those who wish to know, who are as curious as me, because I get a lot of requests on LinkedIn to mentor, to coach people, and then to share what I have experienced and learned. And this is my humble desire that I share what I have experienced and learned over these period of years with all of you today. And I would love to grow with all of you, to add to self as well as others every day. So this is my purpose. This is my ikigai for which I use LinkedIn every day. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Obviously, during my work hours, I try to leave that outside because it can get quite addictive. But I love to share and learn through this media. So we're going to deep dive. And how are we going to deep dive? I'm not going to show you any more slides. Okay, we are going to go live now. So we are going to go to my LinkedIn profile, and you got to tell me that you can see my screen, please. Can you still?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Great. So this is linkedin.com, and I have logged into my profile here. As you can see, I'm going to go through certain things that I have learned. And this journey started for me approximately, I think, 6, 7 months back, I think October to be precise. I, I was looking at some posts people were sharing through an email talking about a latest blog they have written on LinkedIn. And while I knew LinkedIn, I never dared to write. But and sometimes I also felt that it was quite a waste of time because you spend a lot of time in front of the machine the full day anyway. So what is the need of getting another social media down there? So it was something that I was trying to avoid for some time. But then I realized that okay, let's try and see what it's all about. What's the fuss, as they say. And I created a profile. Okay, I learned it officially through a course of how do I really create a profile on LinkedIn. As you can see, there is a profile picture and a background image that they call it. Both of these extremely crucial, professional to have on your LinkedIn profile, because it immediately reckons, it immediately connects with the audience, with the like-minded people of our HR fraternity in terms of what this person delivers or works on. So for me, I have written that I am into talent development, HR. I'm a visiting faculty. I'm a budding blogger because I've just started writing and I'm enjoying it. And I'm a fitness enthusiast because I enjoy my workouts. So if you are, sorry, is somebody writing on the screen? Or is it me? What are these marks? So, okay, I don't know. Let's try that once again. Okay, I don't know. Um, so it's very important. If you already have a profile, then brilliant. If you are trying to build one for yourself on LinkedIn, make sure that you have a tagline for yourself as well. For me, like I said, it's always about being curious. And I've put a few things here right up there so that people know what I do, so that they can connect with me if they find similar interests. Okay. You have to update your profile very clearly in terms of which organization you work for, what is your title there. So I work for Fujitsu, like I said, as the head for learning and development. And then you can write a little bit about yourself. This is a very important thing because people go and check what you do. LinkedIn can be used for multiple reasons, whether you're finding a job or you're trying to build your brand across industries, or you're trying to get some attention for you to be called for interviews or colleges. There is so much that you can use LinkedIn for. So about section is very important for us to put. You can write a little bit about your experience, use the right keywords, because LinkedIn has an algorithm, as you can imagine, and all the right keywords will come as suggestions to other people who are in your same profession. So you can work around that algorithm as well. And this is a lovely section which is called featured, which means if you are doing something special that you want to highlight, for example, you attended some conference or you wrote some blog or an article. For example, I had written an article which I made it as a featured article because I was celebrating 50 posts that I have done under my own hashtag, which is called My Learning Fitness Bar. So it's my own hashtag. I have written 82 posts till now since October. And this hashtag is something that I use in all my posts so that people know. And if they want to follow my hashtag, they can. I'll come to my post very soon. I know you want to know what I write about. But this is stats that are quite addictive, but you can ignore them if you don't want to get in that trap. I try to ignore them. For me, quantity and how many followers and how many connections doesn't matter. I am on LinkedIn to learn. I am on LinkedIn to share knowledge that I have, and I do that. But here it gives you in terms of how many people have visited your profile. So it shows you, right from the beginning, like last week comparison, how many people have viewed your profile, etc. So whether it's an addition, and it keeps going up and down, but that doesn't bother me. For me, I think LinkedIn is all about sharing posts, and I'll come to that. But this is a very important section that I would say we invest time on, which is talk about what is your current experience. You can put a little bit about what you do in that role as well. Like you can see Cognizant, before that I was in T Systems and OS2I. So you update all your professional experience there. You can also give certain keywords, like I said, so that it's easy for others to find you and network with you. And then there is a place for education. You can write from where you have done your masters, your bachelors, etc., and any other diploma certifications that you would have done. Very important. This section is something which is, for me, the personal favorite. Okay, it is about your learning, which means, have you done any certifications, have you done any courses, have you got any licenses, etc., like SAP license, etc. So depends on what you have done. For me, I love learning. Once a quarter, I definitely put on something, and I complete that. definitely, and I update it here. For example, I have done things on learning designs, on emotional intelligence, on instructional design, because all of these are learning and development related certifications. I have also updated things like the one I did from Harvard when I was in UK about breakthrough leadership, and I have updated all of those here. I'm also a PAPI certified behavioral expert, so I have written that. I'm sure most of you would have a behavioral assessment certification with you, being HR professionals. You can update that here. It has a lot of value and helps others know that you have achieved that. Then, of course, there are skills and endorsements. You can wish each other and endorse each other for the skills. Like my manager, ex-manager Suchi, she has endorsed me for talent management, for example. And then you have recommendations. This is again so critical. Leaders who have worked with you, your bosses or your business leaders, like Mr. Mitra here, he's a business leader in SAP and I was his talent manager. So he has written about me. Or Amit, who was again in AI, in Cognizant, he was a leader I worked with and he's given me um, some recommendations. So this again holds up to your credibility, it makes you visible for the work you do as HR partners, as training partners, etc. And this can up your visibility in the HR industry. Okay. Lastly, this I use very frequently, especially when I have to go and meet any business leader for any HR meeting. The first thing I go is I go and check his LinkedIn profile. Okay, I want to know what experiences he has, what skills, what is he talking about. I want to know what he or she wants to talk about so that I can connect before even going and meeting the leader. And it really, really helps a lot. This why I said, because interests is something that you will be able to find out what that person is interested in. Like, for example, if I'm following the leadership thought leader Marshall Goldsmith, then I can, you can open conversation with me on that. Or I love to read HR, the hero of the industry, Josh Bersin. I follow him for what he does. Or on organizational psychologist Adam Grant, I follow them. So you will know my interest even before coming and talking to me. So I think LinkedIn has so much there that we can use to our benefit, and it's there for the whole world to see and connect with you and learn with you and collaborate. So I use this very often. I'm going to show you a little bit about my posts now. We won't go through all the posts per se, but I'll show you a few things that I have posted. And like I said, you can do a course on LinkedIn as well. There is so much you can learn. You can search for learning HR people here. You can check your networks. If you're looking for a job, you just have to put your skill there and the city, and then it'll give you job options. I've got so many friends who've got a job recently through LinkedIn because of the virtual interviews, etc. It's brilliant. You have a chat messenger, and this is your notifications of who's liking your posts or who's sending stuff to you, etc. So there's so much available on LinkedIn. Okay. I will show you a little bit about my posts if that helps. These are the posts that I write. As you can see here, I'm on number 82. I've created a hashtag for myself, which is my learning fitness bar. As you can see, it defines me in terms of the learning and the curiosity that I have. And I create some learning shorts, which are bite-sized learning posts that I put at least a couple of times in a week. I've reached um, 82 now, but yeah, I mean, it's still a long way to go. I just enjoy putting a couple of them in a week and sharing what I learned. For example, this was my recent one, which was about, do you party on your mini successes? Yeah, so whether it's a tiny process change or a contemporary reporting style or a bitsy meeting discipline that you have created, a new change, have you celebrated that? So it was about celebrating success in the team, and enjoying that. So yeah, likewise, I keep writing about different topics. Could be L&D, could be the talent war, as you can see, which is the hiring problems happening, or this is about global versus local learning strategy. How do you create that? So yeah, I write, and on weekends, I go a little more personal, where I wrote about workouts. I write about the books I'm reading, etc. And so many people connect with me. They might share interests, or Some of them actually go ahead and share some of the conferences in HR that are happening, the virtual summits that are happening. So yeah, these are some of the posts that I put on LinkedIn. This one was very good, something on the C-suites, that means the C-level executives. What is expected out of them now, like CTOs, CEOs, in this new digital disruption that's happening. So I'd given some statistics. So anyway, a lot about my posts is done, but the whole objective of showing you this activity and these posts is really to, and most of you might be doing it already, but I feel that HR needs to today create a brand. And we as HR professionals need to talk about our work, need to make it visible, in terms of what impact we are creating for business. I think that's one area, at least when I'm teaching the students from HR and SIBM today as well, I'm telling them that even if it's a little thing that you're doing, talk about it. I think that'll take us a long way. We are at 7:33. I had planned that I will speak for 30 minutes and we will spend some time discussing, because I'm also greedy to learn from all of you. And I would love to open it up, and we can get into details of if you want me to explain anything more or deep dive on any of the other topics. But for me, and if I have to summarize this entire discussion today from my end, what I had to share is this is just one platform, okay, LinkedIn, which I have spoken to you about today. And there are so many others. For example, look at this one. I'm on another platform which is called as Median. I don't know if some of you already are. If you are, please tell me so that I can follow you. I write articles on Median. So this one I've written about freeing psychic bandwidth, which means how do you get things done? How do you clear the clutter in your mind? And I love to read, and I post a lot of things. For example, can you teach to learn? Must you will. So I keep writing. I've written about curiosity and learning, the brain, how it works. So there is so much you can share, you can learn in the world. And for me, I feel that being an HR professional where there's so much happening, such amazing practices followed, not only in India, but across the globe, there's so much we can capitalize on, then why not? Okay, and why not use this platform to learn? So I spend at least a couple of hours in a week to either read articles or books, a few pages every weekend, and post a few articles, which again, I get some responses from people where they're saying, no, Shilpa, it's not like this, and probably look at it that way. And it's amazing. This exchange really is my protein, as I say. I love to learn from people. So yes, this is about the Median, and yeah, back to LinkedIn. But if there are any questions, thoughts, I would love to have a discussion in this forum. We have 93 people, which is a fabulous population to have a quick round of discussion. And yes, I will open the floor in that case, if that's okay, Mr. Lange and Mr. Ithape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So I will start, Shilpa. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So when we talk about the profile pic, they say that the profile picture should be same on all social media or professional networks. Is that true, or what's your thoughts on that?
Um, absolutely not. You cannot have the same profile picture on all the social platforms for obvious reasons. It is extremely dangerous to do that. So if you look at my Insta profile, and I'll just give you a moment to add some people in. This is my Insta profile, and that certainly doesn't have the same picture as LinkedIn. This is me and my mother in the profile that I have. And here, if you see, this is my profile on LinkedIn. You will have to keep it absolutely formal on LinkedIn and Meet or any others that where you want to professionally interact. It's for professional intimacy, if you have heard that term. It's kind of a contradiction, but it's a fabulous term to define what is that line you draw. Yeah, what is your professional interest? How far do you want to go? So I would say that we can showcase that through a very professional profile picture. Yeah. Does that help?
Thank you, Shilpa. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks. I think there are some questions in chat as well.
Are there? Okay, let me.
Maybe you can, yeah.
Can I stop sharing the screen and it just becomes a little easier for me? Is that
Yes,
okay?
yes.
I have a lot of questions. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Mostly are about muting, but let's go down and check.
Go at the end. There are many questions.
Yeah, I just got that.
Otherwise, that people can ask now. But now it is now open session.
Yeah.
Shilpa, may I ask a question?
Yes, of course, please.
Yeah, Shilpa, like on Facebook, when you put your Twitter handle, let's say, you can straight click on that and go to Twitter handle. Have you seen any facilities on LinkedIn like that, where you insert your Twitter handle and by clicking which you can go straight to Twitter that handle?
Yeah, so that's $1 million question. That you can give your handle, but you can give it as a link, but LinkedIn does not promote that. For example, it doesn't even promote YouTube videos, etc. So it doesn't promote that really. So that's why you won't find those obvious ways of connecting.
Correct.
Yeah, they don't want that culture to come in because people started putting Instagram links and their business links into Instagram. So I think this.
Yeah, sure.
But something new has come up on LinkedIn, which is LinkedIn Stories. Have you all tried it? It's quite fun, actually. It's like Instagram stories that we have. If you're like reading a book, for example, or there's a small event you're attending and you want to show your maybe the summit card and a photo, so you can post your photo saying, hey, I'm attending this conference. And that's it's pretty good. Now they've started improving a little, but
Also,
yeah.
there is
Yeah,
Shilpa, there is also one interesting tab. I don't know whether you explored that, called accomplishments, where you actually put on your honors and awards and things like that.
yes, you can also send praises. It's amazing. Yes, you can. Yeah, it's a good one that they have put up there. Even the featured actually is good for accomplishments.
Hi Shilpa, I'm Amol from SigmaCon. Shilpa, just I want to query that if we building a brand on social media, so LinkedIn is a professional platform, but Instagram and Facebook is not that much professional. So what kind of the taking care about in that in this platform?
You mean they are not professional? But actually, if you ask me, Facebook and Instagram are the next things for business. Right from bakeries to clothing to shoes, I think you can get everything to promote brands on Instagram and Facebook, right? These pages. I would say they are pretty professional. Depends on what kind of a business you are in. I have seen that um, the more creative arts businesses are running fairly more on Insta and Facebook, and more for ITES, or manufacturing, other areas, or even, for example, vendors who are providing solutions, or Mercers and Hayes. Those are more on LinkedIn. But I think that the creative part of it and the arts is what I see more on Facebook. But I saw your question here. You said that you are promoting for SigmaCon through LinkedIn, aren't you? So you're putting your ads for people recruitment on LinkedIn as well, that you all are recruiting and please join, etc. Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah, we are looking for that.
We're doing that as well. Fujitsu is doing that. So we recently announced 3 positions. I don't know if you saw that. So Fujitsu announced 3 positions in the HR space that they are looking at. So yes, we do use LinkedIn quite a lot to market brands.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks to solve my query.
Hey, hi Shilpa. This is Nitin Dangal here.
Yeah. Hi, Nitin.
I would like to understand from you what are your experiences on the other side of social media, because nowadays we see that people don't agree with your views, and when they express, fine, we are dealing here with a very sophisticated way of telling things, goody goody, tell whatever accomplishments are. Nobody is there to share the failures. When you have your very honest thoughts on social media, people may not like it, and they directly write in a very nasty manner. Now, record, once it is created there, it lives there. How do you handle such things?
You mean people expressing nasty views on LinkedIn? Are you trying to say that?
Yeah, you have written something in your blog, but other guy trying to prove how wrong you are.
Oh, yes, of course. Those are
you really don't know the basics. You are just commenting, trying to be very much enthusiastic by heart, but you never know what are the results of your comments. How to handle such issues?
Let me mute this person who is.
Deepa, Amandas, can you please mute?
Yeah, I'm just trying to mute everybody.
You can remove him also. No issue.
So I'm going to give the. Can I give the host to you back? And you can.
Yeah, please.
Because
please.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm just going to give you the. I'm sorry, just give me a moment till I.
OHR Foundation. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry. So let me tell you, those are called as hate posts. Okay, and I have been privy to it. I have seen a lot of my colleagues getting affected by it as well. LinkedIn has their policy and their algorithm where it does filter certain words and then send warnings to people who do that. But even if it is in a very sophisticated manner that somebody tries to object or has a contrasting view to your post, it is absolutely fine. They can have their views because it's a platform which has a freedom for everybody to express their views. And to some of my posts where I had written a few things, people had come and expressed that, no, I don't agree to what you have written. The way I handle it is I respect your point of view and we leave it at that. You know, we agree to disagree, as they say. As far as it doesn't get nasty in terms of any harassment or any abusive language, and I've seen that happening too, LinkedIn has a very good policy. You can mark these posts and you can report them. There is a tab to report there and they pick it up. So I have seen that happening. So I think they have something in place. But to be honest, you can't stop anybody from writing their views like you are writing. I think everybody else has freedom to write. I think my style is to welcome views, but I always agree to disagree politely, and I say I leave it at that. If I see that something nasty is happening, I have also deleted comments from my post because I have the authority as the person posting to delete those comments. So these are few ways in which you can do it, depending on the level of how nasty that is, to be honest. It's social media and there is that other side to it, like you rightly said. And like I said, how professionally intimate you can get, you can't control. It's also on the maturity of the person who replies, etc. But hate posts are there, and it's really sad that people do something like that. Thanks for asking. It is a reality. Does that help?
Hi, Ira. It was a very informative session, and I really appreciate the thoughts you have put in. I work for SigmaCon, and we are just We're just looking at how we can use LinkedIn in a proper manner to establish SigmaCon as a brand. And we are finding it very good when I dive down to LinkedIn profiles of people who are alike us and everything. I just wanted to ask you, being a blogger, being a learner, um, have you come up with certain strategies that are beneficial for both employees, employers? Any unique kind of a thing you have come across through all your experience, 16 years of experience, and that is not prevailing in the current scenario?
Mhm. Well, unique word is quite relative to begin with. Unique for me may not be unique for you, but I think there are some things that I really follow, and I love to share that with you. Okay. I hope they help in some way. See, from an organization standpoint, using LinkedIn involves a lot of ifs and buts. For example, if your organization policy is designed around social media, you need to be very careful in terms of what is allowed and what is not. Because in my organization, for example, there are only 5 people who can go to the press or media, for example. And those 5 people are the ones who will interact and send messages out. So I would say that a proper professional corporate branding policy needs to be established if you don't already have that, and that policy involves social media in terms of how do you hunt, how do you build versus buy, etc. Those kind of strategies need to be put in place for social media. So I would say having a very well defined corporate social media policy is something you can start with. Okay, that's what I would do. And again, based on your purpose. So for example, are you using LinkedIn towards marketing open positions because you're not able to close them, or you are marketing because you want the brand name to be realized in the industry, or you want to market a particular feature or a service? So it depends on the purpose really, of how you want to do it. Secondly, as for if you're trying to establish your organization, I would say data that you're sharing in terms of statistics, in terms of best practices, in terms of certain innovations in the industry, or even knowledge sharing articles on a regular basis is a good strategy to gain attention. I do it for myself as well as I have seen Fujitsu and Cognizant doing it. For example, the recent one, which is diversity and inclusion. And all of us HR professionals I know are deep into D&I at the moment. We launched a campaign of D&I, and for the Women's Day celebration that we had posted something as well on social media where we said it is not about women empowerment, it is about equality. So you can pick up some themes which are going on, the trending themes, and market yourself. I think that's pretty unique in the sense of you are connected to the market and relevant at all times. So I would say the unique thing would be to be up there, relevant, and do something that people will recognize and in the right season. So if you're putting on a sweater in winter, then it makes sense, for example. So you can go with the flow on certain events that are happening and talk about them. You can share your company's vision statements. You can share with them if you're launching some new products, etc. But I would say the values, the core values of the organization, putting them up there is quite an impact. So I have done all of this. If that helps you, I don't know. Does it?
Yes, it helped me.
Shilpa,
Thank you
one
so
more
much.
question for me. There are 4 parts of a paid or a premium LinkedIn membership, right?
Yeah.
Career, business, sales, and hiring.
Yeah.
So when it comes to career, what has been your experience? Does it really help a job seeker to be a premium member? Do they really work on your profile that it really stands alone from others? Does it really help? Or is it just a marketing strategy?
I think it is algorithm based, to be very honest with you. They will look at your keywords, and the more keywords you use in your profile, they pick it up and they sell it everywhere. That's how it works, to be very honest. Um, if you ask me from an HR perspective, I have seen lesser jobs that have been provided to my colleagues from LinkedIn. But for technology, architects, developers, software engineers, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've seen a crazy turnout, and it's very easy to market as well as to buy. So both things. But HR, and you'd correct me, y'all are expert as well. I have seen HR works through references much more than any other medium. I've seen that, at least in my experience.
But you would suggest us to make a small investment in LinkedIn,
Yes, I
and to
think
have a
it's,
premium
yeah,
membership rather than a freebie.
I have one. Okay, I have one. I get to send some emails out also. You know the other benefits, right? For it. It's not only for jobs, but it is
Yeah.
also, it gives you access to certain people through emails directly, even though they are not in your contacts, which is, I think, amazing. Because I did recently connect to somebody from Mindtree, and I connected with somebody from Novartis because I loved their approach. They have in HR, they have something called as rewards for curiosity, and I wanted to learn what it is, and I was getting very restless, and this feature that I have actually helped me connect with their learning head, and we exchanged a couple of emails. But I'm not saying that you must or must not invest, that's your personal choice, but for me it is working. It's an investment that I don't mind making, because I will go and shop a bag or a dress, and then I'm investing something here in learning, which I personally am very fond of. So I don't mind that investment. All right, does that help? Was that Mr. Nitin?
Yeah,
All right.
because we are using the other for business sales and hiring as well.
Okay. Okay, for hiring as well. I know a lot of them do. Like I said, I think for technology, it's mind blowing. I'm not very sure for HR, but for technology.
Hi Shilpa, I thank you so much for your insights about your own experiences. It was really very informative and learnative. I would just like to understand two things from you based on your a very good experience into L&D, and that too with the organizations like Cognizant and now with Fujitsu. One is being a L&D professional, what would you like to suggest for any other L&D professional to have top 3 competencies and focus areas? And second one is, as long as LinkedIn is concerned, I am personally very curious about there is one option which LinkedIn is offering, that is LinkedIn Learning,
Oh,
where
yes.
a lot of courses are available. A few of them are free, and it's really very informative. I've done 7 to 8 courses, and it's really very fantastic. So, what are your views on these 2 points?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I love LinkedIn Learning. I'm glad you asked. Okay, for an L&D professional, and this is my learning, okay? I would say the first thing for any L&D professional is to stay curious and alert and aware, okay? Have a very open mind, is what I mean. Very, very important for us to always be in the sponge mode, like I call it in most of my interactions with my team. You know, learn to absorb, be curious to know things. I think that's one I say is given. Second, I would say is business focus. See, it is not about HR, it is not about learning, it's not about any functions other than business that should be your center of gravity. Okay, one of my recent articles I wrote about this. When you're creating an L&D strategy as a learning professional, I think it has to just revolve around your business strategy. And I feel L&D professionals might still be in a mode of selling learning solutions that, oh, I'll do this training for you. Is that okay? So when business comes and asks for what trainings do we have, we give a nice menu card of all the learning programs that we have. And my rule in my team is very clear. The moment business comes to us, the question is, okay, what is the business problem you're trying to solve? So consulting skills with the business, I think, is a competency that we must have as a learning professional. Understanding business acumen is a third one, which I'll say very, very critical. So having that consultative attitude and problem solving attitude. And of course, learning yourself, upping your level of skill in the company, so that you can become those partners to the business. See, just yesterday I had a situation in Fujitsu where a leader came and asked me for 5G training. Obviously, I knew a little bit about what it is, but then I knew that I had to now get into a conversation on it with him. So what do I do? So the first thing is for me to get curious. Okay, what is 5G? What is 5G training? What will business get out of it? And do that 2 minutes of research on Google, what 5G is, and then go to the leader and talk. And the impact that you will create is so phenomenal. So I would say, be a curious learner, understand business acumen, have consulting skills, be outcome focused always in terms of your, and it's not about ROI and training feedback and efficiency. It is about what business impact your learning really created. I think it's so critical to know that. So I would say these are top 4-5 competencies that yeah, I've tried to develop, and I would also suggest all the budding L&D professionals to pick up. So this is, I hope this answers the first.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for your views.
Okay, you had another one, did you?
I was about, my second point was about LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah, so LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy, these are all the platforms which are amazing. So I learn mainly through Coursera because for some reason I click better with them, but LinkedIn Learning is fabulous. A lot of companies are also offering LinkedIn Learning packages as benefits to their organization, by the way, to their employees. So which is fantastic. LinkedIn Learning, the best thing is you can have a series. It identifies keywords real quick and it gives you suggestions. It also marks out programs which are recently introduced, and it's quite friendly. So I would say if you don't have it, you should just jump on it. There are a lot of free courses, and I think even the rest of them, because I gifted one of my students recently, is what, $4.99 per course or something. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are at quite nominal price, good programs are offered as well, and a lot of them are free too. So yes, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy, whatever UI suits you, they are really good.
Great, thanks.
It's 8, but I'm ready to spend some more time if you wish to. I always like to remind myself about the time. That's another thing that I think all of us need to be disciplined about, and I'm trying to be. So I'm happy to stay on, but if you have any other questions.
One more question from my side, Shilpa. What is your view about taking and giving recommendations on LinkedIn?
Well, I don't think the industry is yet mature enough to go and read them, if you ask me, yet. I see some new startups investing a lot in going and reading those recommendations for the person before hiring them. Okay. I think it's useful for those startups is what I've seen. I've also seen that people give a write-up to somebody and tell them to recommend them. I've also seen that side of it, which also happens. And I don't find that wrong either, because that person will obviously look at your draft, but that if that person believes in it, only then he or she will give it to you. So I think the maturity of looking at those recommendations yet hasn't arrived so much in the market. You know, Glassdoor.com, right? So
yes,
a lot of people look at Glassdoor. I don't think they are looking so much into LinkedIn recommendations yet. At least that's my feeling. I also quickly, the first thing I did for Fujitsu also was to go on Glassdoor.
This is Vivek. I have a question. For LinkedIn, we can talk us together to get the, how the things are there. But are there any quick link for the, somebody who has started, somebody want to explore more, somebody has a superior level? If you can share those, or some linking links are there from other sites also, which will help us, to speedily come up. It will help in multiple.
Yeah, so I'll give you some LinkedIn learning courses, okay, which are available. They take you through how to set up your profile in LinkedIn. Also, if somebody likes Hindi videos, I have one of my friends, he does videos on YouTube, and he has created a video on LinkedIn profile review. And he's given tips on how to do that in Hindi. I can send it to Mr. Ithape and Mr. Yeah, I can
That
get.
would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. We will take a last question if anyone has.
Can I have a look at the chats for a moment and just see if we've missed anything from anybody? No, I think Coin has to say.
Yeah, hi. I would like to ask a question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Shilpa. This is Margaret. I just want to, my question is like, can you tell us about your experiences? How much time did you invest in, branding or for your branding actually?
Yeah,
Because LinkedIn is definitely a time-consuming activity, right?
it is. Like I said, I gave so many ifs and buts to you while talking about it. And it's something that can actually suck you into it. Yeah. And there was a point when I had to actually, if you come and see my phone right now, LinkedIn is not installed here. Okay. My rule is that LinkedIn will only stay on my MacBook. It will not be on my phone, because people will keep liking your comments and people will keep asking you for interviews, etc. So there's so much happening there, and it creates distraction for you. I would say that my investment over at least last 6-7 months, when I was more active on LinkedIn, has been twice a week I write a blog. Okay. And on the weekends, once something on fitness or something casual. Okay. So 3 times in a week I write. But I'll tell you what, the writing part on LinkedIn is probably takes what, 10 minutes. Okay. Which anyway, I can binge watch Netflix. I'll tell you where the time consuming part is. The time consuming part is learning something, reading something. I spend at least 3 hours in a week to learn something. It could be a course, it could be an article, it could be a few posts from other people, or I have a small repository of certain research papers released by certain L&D experts, and I keep taking one at a time and read once in a week. I invest 2 hours at least in a week to learn. Then it is me making notes and then summarizing it into a post. So to be honest, itself is not time consuming. I think it's the process about learning, yeah, and making notes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Shilpa.
All right. Okay, I hope it was helpful for everyone. I think it is fantastic, and it's so nice that you all shared your thoughts and your views on social media. I would just say that, please, I'm not marketing LinkedIn here, but I'm marketing you to brand yourself. I hope that message has come out clearly, and you can do it through multiple medias. It's just that LinkedIn is up there, easy option to do it quickly, and I keep telling people why not utilize it. So I really feel HR needs to work on that part, all of us together. So that's my closing statement for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa. This is Advocate Shailendra Deshpande. And on behalf of OHR Foundations, I would really like to thank you for giving us the wonderful session. Normally, the sessions are conducted as a one-sided communications on Zoom, but you made it interactive by showing online LinkedIn profile and how to enter the data. So this is very wonderful and knowledgeable, basically. So because we learn from doing, and we learn from seeing the things much better way, rather than having only the theory. So thank you, Shilpa. Once again, thanks for coming on this platform and giving us the wonderful session, very informative sessions. We would like to hear more from you also. And thank you all the participants for attending today's sessions. Let us see, we are having another sessions in the month of May on some different topic. So we would like to see you again on our platform. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I will connect you later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.